When a man is serious, it's not just in his words, it's in his actions, his energy, and the way he integrates you into his life. But how do you cut through the noise and truly know if he's invested in you? Today, we're uncovering the real signs he's serious about you. Signs that go beyond the obvious and into the profound. Let me start with a bold truth. Most men can fake interest, but they can't fake investment. Investment is where intention meets action. And if you're wondering whether he's serious about you, the key isn't in the grand gestures or the sweet words. It's in the micro moments. The subtle ways he builds a bridge between his world and yours. 1. He adjusts his life for you, effortlessly. A man who's serious doesn't just make time for you, he reorganizes his priorities without you asking. It's not about squeezing you into his already packed schedule. It's about making space for you. Here's the twist. It's not only in the big things like planning trips or meeting your family. It's in the small, seemingly insignificant decisions he makes every day. Does he adjust his gym schedule because he knows you're free at a certain time? Does he let you pick the restaurant, even if it's not his favorite cuisine? Does he text you goodnight, even on his busiest days, just so you know you're on his mind? These small adjustments scream commitment. They're not about impressing you, they're about aligning his life with yours. 2. He lets you see his vulnerabilities. Most men are masters at hiding their weaknesses, especially in the early stages of dating. But here's the kicker. A man who's serious will let his guard down. He knows that building something real requires trust, and trust means letting you see the parts of him he usually hides. Watch for moments when he shares something personal, his fears, his struggles, his dreams. These aren't just confessions, they're an invitation to deeper intimacy. He's saying, I trust you to see me, the real me, and still accept me. So far you might be thinking, okay, but couldn't these actions also come from a guy who's just really good at playing the game? That's where emotional consistency comes into play. A serious man doesn't just show up for you on the good days. He shows up when it's inconvenient, when it's uncomfortable, and when life gets messy. Think about it. Does he only call when he's in a great mood? Or is he still there when things aren't perfect? Does he celebrate your wins with you and hold space for your bad days? This isn't about perfection, it's about effort. A man who's serious invests emotionally, even when it's hard. But being serious isn't just about showing up emotionally, it's also about creating a sense of security in the relationship. In the next section, we'll uncover the signs that show he's not just interested, he's actively protecting your heart and your future together. If you've ever doubted whether a man's actions align with his intentions, stick around. What I'm about to share next might just change the way you look at love forever. When a man is serious about you, his priority isn't just to win your affection, it's to safeguard it. This is where many men fall short. They might charm you, dazzle you, even spoil you, but the men who are truly invested go one step further. They protect your emotional well-being. Let's dive into what this looks like. 3. He eliminates ambiguity. One of the most overlooked signs of seriousness is clarity. A man who is serious about you doesn't leave you guessing. He makes his intentions crystal clear because he respects your time and emotions too much to string you along. This doesn't necessarily mean he's confessing his undying love on the second date, but he's intentional about where things are going. He communicates openly about what he's looking for and how he sees you fitting into his life. Here's how to spot it. Does he openly discuss future plans and include you in them? Does he use language like we instead of I when talking about upcoming events or goals? Has he ever said something like, I want to be upfront with you about what I'm looking for? These statements aren't just words, they're anchors. They ground the relationship in a foundation of trust and mutual understanding. Ambiguity, on the other hand, is a breeding ground for insecurity, and a man who's serious about you will do everything he can to avoid that. Number 4, he doesn't play games. In a world where ghosting, breadcrumbing, and mixed signals have become all too common, a man who's serious about you will stand out simply by being consistent. He doesn't leave your texts on read for hours to seem aloof, nor does he wait 3 days to call after a date because he read somewhere that it makes him more attractive. When he says he's going to do something, whether it's calling you after work, planning a date, or meeting your friends, he follows through. His actions match his words, and this consistency creates a sense of stability in the relationship. And here's the kicker. He's not doing this because he's trying to be serious. He's doing it because it's who he is when he values someone. 5. He prioritizes your emotional comfort. This is where things get deep. A man who's serious about you doesn't just consider his own needs. He actively seeks to understand and meet yours. He listens when you express concerns, validates your feelings, and makes adjustments to ensure you feel safe and valued in the relationship. But here's the key. He doesn't do this grudgingly or out of obligation. He does it because your happiness matters to him. This shows up in many ways. If you're uncomfortable with something, he doesn't dismiss it. He takes it seriously and works with you to find a solution. He anticipates situations that might cause you stress or insecurity and addresses them proactively. For example, if he's going to a party where an ex might be present, he lets you know beforehand and reassures you of his commitment. He's patient with your boundaries. Whether it's about emotional vulnerability or physical intimacy, he respects your pace without pressuring you. Why this matters? In any relationship, emotional safety is the foundation for growth. If you're constantly on edge, wondering where you stand or whether your feelings are being respected, it's impossible to build something meaningful. A man who's serious about you understands this. He doesn't just want you in his life, he wants you to feel secure in his presence. 6. He supports your growth. This might be the most underrated sign of seriousness, yet it's one of the most profound. A man who's serious about you doesn't see your success as a threat or your dreams as an inconvenience. Instead, he actively supports your goals, even if they don't directly benefit him. For example, he encourages you to take that big career opportunity, even if it means less time together in the short term. He celebrates your achievements, no matter how small, and never diminishes them with backhanded comments like, "That's great, but what about us?" He challenges you to be your best self, not by criticizing, but by believing in your potential, even when you doubt it yourself. This isn't just love, it's partnership. A serious man knows that a relationship isn't about holding each other back. It's about lifting each other up. So far, we've explored how a serious man invests in you emotionally and supports you as an individual. But the ultimate test of seriousness lies in how he envisions a future with you. In the next section, we'll uncover the signs that he's not just serious about dating you, he's serious about building a life with you. When a man is serious about you, his actions don't just exist in the present, they ripple into the future. He's not just showing up for today, he's investing in tomorrow. This final part will uncover the clearest signs that he sees you not just as someone he loves, but as someone he's building a life with. 7. He integrates you into his life. A man who is serious doesn't compartmentalize his life. You're not just someone he sees on weekends or texts occasionally. You're woven into the fabric of his world. Here's how this shows up. Meeting his inner circle. He wants you to meet the people who matter most to him. His family, his close friends, even his mentors. This isn't just about formality. It's about him signaling that you're an essential part of his life. Sharing his routine. Whether it's inviting you to join him for his morning jog or watching his favorite shows together, he lets you into the everyday moments that define who he is. Blending lives gradually. This doesn't mean he forces you into every aspect of his world all at once. Instead, he introduces you thoughtfully, ensuring you feel comfortable and valued as you become a larger part of his life. This integration is key because it shows he's not just dating you, he's preparing to make you a permanent part of his journey. 8. He plans with you in mind. The future is the ultimate test of seriousness. If a man is serious about you, he doesn't just make vague promises, he makes concrete plans that include you. Shared goals. He talks about long-term plans like vacations, moving in together, or even marriage. These aren't just ideas, they're discussions where your input matters. Financial conversations. A serious man doesn't shy away from conversations about money. He's transparent about his financial goals and wants to understand yours because he sees a future where these things matter. Compromises for the future. He's willing to adjust his plans to accommodate yours. For example, If you've always dreamed of living in a certain city, he'll seriously consider how that fits into his own life goals. A man who includes you in his vision for the future isn't just serious, he's committed. 9. He protects the relationship from outside threats. Serious men understand that relationships don't exist in a vacuum. There will always be external pressures, work, family opinions, past relationships that can strain the bond. A man who's truly invested actively works to shield the relationship from these potential challenges. Here's how. Setting boundaries. He doesn't allow others to disrespect you or your relationship. Whether it's an intrusive family member or a jealous ex, he handles these situations with firmness and tact. Clear communication. If he senses any misunderstandings or tensions, he addresses them head-on instead of letting them fester. Reassurance. During conflict. Every relationship has disagreements, but a serious man makes it clear during arguments that the relationship is never in question. He fights for the relationship, not against it. By protecting the relationship, he demonstrates that it's not just important to him, it's a priority. Number 10. He's invested in your happiness. The final, and perhaps most significant sign that he's serious about you is his unwavering investment in your happiness. This doesn't mean he tries to solve all your problems or make you happy 24/7. No one can do that. But it does mean he takes an active role in supporting your joy and well-being. Look for these actions. Emotional support. He's your cheerleader when things are going well, and your rock when they're not. He knows your emotional needs and goes out of his way to meet them. Celebrating you. He notices your milestones, whether it's a big promotion or simply nailing a tough workout. He takes genuine joy in your achievements. Respecting your independence. He understands that your happiness isn't solely dependent on him. He supports your hobbies, friendships, and personal growth because he values you as a whole person. Ultimately, a man who's serious about you isn't just concerned with how the relationship benefits him. He's committed to making your life better because he knows that love is about giving, not just receiving. Now that we've explored these 10 signs, you might be asking yourself, what if I don't see all of these in the person I'm dating? The truth is, relationships evolve, and not every sign will show up immediately. What matters is consistency over time. A serious man doesn't just promise you the world, he takes steps to build it with you, brick by brick. Here's the challenge for you. The next time you're questioning where you stand with someone, ask yourself not what they've said, but what they've shown. Words are easy. Actions are undeniable. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are there signs you've seen that I didn't mention? Or maybe you're unsure if the person you're with is serious about you. Drop a comment below. I'll be reading and responding to as many as I can. Remember, the right person won't leave you questioning their intentions. They'll make it clear in everything they do. So trust your instincts and never settle for less than you deserve.